Okay.
Let me put you on mute here. You can let me know how you're hearing the piano. Good volume. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 goo. Goo, 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 Good morning. If you find that the the goo 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 sound gets in your way as we go higher, if closing to a G is a problem, then don't close so much or leave it out altogether. The higher you go, the less you need to pronounce the consonants. It's more about the vowel and it's more about kind of trying to stay open. So down low, it's easy to say the consonants, but up high, sometimes it's difficult. Ming, 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 ming. Ming, 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 ming. Ming, 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 ming. Ming, 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 ming. Ming, 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 ming. Ming, 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 ming. Ming, 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 ming. I see a message in the chat. Maybe I should open the chat so that I can make sure I don't miss anything. Oh, it's Lynn saying good morning to all of us. Ming, 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 ming. Ming, 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 ming. Judy's here. Let's get this party started. Ming, 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 ming. Ming, 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 ming. I'm making an appointment with a guy named Dr. Bastian. He is an ENT that is well known in the Chicago area for helping singers. And he has a procedure by which he applies some anesthetic and then he sticks a camera up your nose, down your throat to look at your vocal cords while you're singing. He takes pictures and he takes video for the purposes of diagnosing vocal problems of all kinds. And I have a little bit of a weird thing happening in my falsetto. Sometimes in my falsetto, my chords don't want to function normally, or maybe they don't, in the first 5 or 10 minutes of singing, and then later on they function better. But my voice teachers have been urging me to get the procedure done, and I haven't really wanted to go get a tube stuck up my nose and down my throat. I haven't been eager. I've been eager to do that. But now I'm kind of intrigued. I mean, if there's something wrong with my vocal cords, I want to know. And if there's not anything wrong, I want to know. and I'm sort of intrigued. I think you can watch it on a screen while he's doing it. I think he's looking at a scope, but I think the display is up on a screen where you can see your own vocal cords functioning while you're singing. How about that for a little field trip? I don't know where we were. Ming, 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 ming. Ming, 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 ming. I hope he rinses off the tube between customers. Good morning, everybody. Nay, nay, nay. Let's change this one. Let's make it nya, nya, nya. Nya, 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 nya. Nya, 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 nya. Nya, 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 nya. Concentrate on getting a little bitty sound that's very nasal. Nya, 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 nya. Nya, 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 nya. Nya, 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 nya. Nya, 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 nya. Good morning, everybody that's just joined us. Nya, 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 nya. Nya, 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 nya. Nya, 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 nya. Nya, 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 nya. I went to my younger daughter's 5th grade band concert last night. Whoo! 5th grade band. I'm so appreciative of the teachers who just, work so hard to teach these kids. It's kind of amazing, that at the beginning of the year, they literally don't know what end to blow in. And at the end of the year, they can play some songs. And it's all different instruments that have different challenges. And there's, 60 of them. And they're all squirmy monkeys. Like, how can you possibly teach 60 kids how to play anything? And they have different transpositions and different ranges. Like, each instrument is its own problem to solve. My daughter chose alto saxophone. I don't know if you've ever looked at an alto saxophone up close. It's the most complicated piece of machinery. All the keys, the way they function. There's all these rods and hinges and pulleys. When you press the key up here, sometimes it's operating an opening that's somewhere else on the horn. So if a little spring breaks or a wire breaks, you got to try to figure out, okay, what key is that operating? And there's places where there's like 6 or 8 keys together that she can choose from. Anyway, it's a complicated. Trombone is just like a mouthpiece and a slide. You got to keep it lubricated, but there's no buttons. And then French horn, who can play a French horn? Just try playing it sometime. You can hardly make a sound on it. And like there's the margin for error with your embouchure. If you just change the shape of your mouth a little tiny bit, it's a wrong note. So you try to teach that to a fifth grader. Anyway, fifth grade band concert. All the parents are sitting there like, gosh, this sounds bad, and I'm paying $30 a month for the horn. I sure hope they start sounding better soon. And I'm sitting on the bleachers, and the whole world had their phone up filming, and I'm thinking, what, are they gonna go home and watch this again? They're gonna post it on Facebook? What's happening? Here we go. Teal's telling me that her kids were violins. Oh my gosh. Violin is so hard. Nobody wants to hear you play violin for like the first 20 years. What a difficult instrument. Violin and cello, are you kidding me? How does anybody ever get good at that? Thanks for hanging in there with these exercises. I know it's the same every rehearsal, but they work, so I just keep doing them. It's like a workout. I need to wear a bib when I do this one. By the way, I'm already in my falsetto. So I'm singing my falsetto quite low because I'm not warmed up yet. But it overlaps quite a bit with my chest voice, which helps me. Are any of you in your head voice yet? The lower you can switch to your head voice during these exercises, the better. Just sing your head voice down as low as you can, even if it doesn't sound controlled or pretty. Just get those registers to overlap. So here's how my head voice sounds down low. Let me do it down here. There's no chest in that at all. If I were to sing it in chest voice, it would sound like this. So for the ladies, it would be these pitches. If you're able to start trying to switch to your head voice lower, it'll help with the matter of the mix. Okay, here we go. So doing them short like this is supposed to help with the high notes. Sometimes it's easier to hit a high note if we're not sustaining it. If we just go these short notes, we have to kind of let go of all the weight and tension that gets in the way. Just a little bitty sound. There was a little timpani, little percussion player last night who was about 2'9", playing all these big percussion instruments like timpani and bass drum. When he went to play the bass drum, we couldn't see him. We could hear him playing it, but we could not see his face or his body. He's one of those boys that hasn't hit his growth spurt yet, so all the girls are taller than him. Of course, probably by high school he'll be the tallest kid. But here, couple more. Here we go. This is NG. Sort of like a hum, but different. If you can remember to kind of flare your nostrils, that'll help with this exercise. Okay, let's sing some music, shall we? The storm is passing over. Teal Miller's favorite song. Basses, let me hear you at the beginning, please. So one of the important things about this song is the articulations, meaning the short notes and the long notes. If we sing it without those, it's still a good song, but it's less dynamic, it's less interesting. So when the note has a dot over it, that means short. When the note has one of these over it, it means short but accented. When the note has one of these over it, it means sing it full value, long. When it has one of these over it, it's full value with an accent. So there's at least 4 articulations that we see in the song, and that's kind of important to the style. Let me hear the basses, please. 3, 4, 1. Have courage, my soul, and let us journey on. Though the night is dark and I am far from home, thanks be to God, the morning light appears. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. I forgot one articulation. When it has a line with a dot underneath it, that is not quite as short as just a dot. So it's like it's got a little bit of length to it, but with some separation. So on the word ha lay, down at the bottom of page 3, those have a line and a dot. So they're not quite as short. Okay, basses one more time, please. Bottom of the first page. 3, 4, 1, 2. Have courage, my soul, and let us journey on. Though the night is dark and I am far from home, thanks be to God, the morning light appears. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. Tenors, let me hear you. Anybody can sing along if you want. Here's the bass note. Here's the tenor note. Here's the alto and the soprano. But we're focusing on the tenor. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Have courage, my soul, and let us journey on. Though the night is dark and I am far from home, thanks be to God, the morning light appears. 2, 3. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. One more time, same thing, tenors. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano. 1, 2, ready. And sorry, 1, 2. Have courage, my soul, and let us journey on. Though the night is dark and I am far from home, thanks be to God, the morning light appears. 2, 3. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. Altos, let me hear you. Here's the bass, tenor, alto, soprano. 3, 4, 1, 2. Courage, my soul, and let us journey on. Though the night is dark and I am far from home, thanks be to God, the morning light appears. So the words that are short and accented, the ones with the little housetop articulation on them, the first one we encounter is the word far. I am far from home. And then the word light. The morning light appears. Now there are some, and then down at the bottom of page 3, the storm is passing over. Those are accented and short. It's kind of intriguing. He's also put that housetop accent sometimes when the note is tied. I am far from home, far from home. I don't think he means for us to detach it like that. It's just accented, but that's kind of a unique one. Okay, sopranos, let me hear you. Here's the bass, tenor, alto, soprano, and a 3, 4, 1, 2. Have courage, my soul, and let us journey on. Though the night is dark, and I am far from home. Thanks be to God, the morning light appears. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Alleluia. Alleluia. It's got to have a little bit of separation. Okay, let's see how we do parts together. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano. And a 3, 4, 1, 2. I played a wrong note, sorry. One more time, all the parts. And we'll find out how you're doing. Beginning. 3, 4, 1, 2. And off, repeat that page. Tell me how you're doing. Are you getting the notes? Can we move on? Anybody having trouble with any of this part? I know it's review for a lot of you. Okay, let's move on then. This is the section that repeats a bunch of times with different performance on each one. So look at the top of 4. It says first time double forte, 2F, second time piano, third time forte, fourth time piano, fifth time double forte. So they're wanting each repeat of it to have a different kind of feel to it, plus the hand clapping, plus the unicycle writing. It's a lot to think about. Hey, basses, let's hear you, top of that page. So the other people start before the basses with this hallelujah, and the basses come in right on the downbeat of that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hallelujah. over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. Repeat basses again and hallelujah. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. So there's a lot going on. Everybody, the first long note that you sing for the sopranos, tenors, and sopranos, altos, and tenors, it's the syllable lu. It's got a crescendo on it. Hallelujah. Without the crescendo, it's just a long note. The crescendo is part of what makes it exciting. Basses, you have a crescendo on your first note. Then everybody has soft going into measure 29. Bottom of that page, it gets soft. And then it's mezzo forte, the very next phrase. The pickups to page 5 is mezzo forte. Top of 5, third measure is forte. So the composer has tried really hard to make this exciting with all of these changes. I know we're still sort of learning notes and rhythms, but the dynamics and the crescendos and the articulations are what makes this song like really dynamic. So if you need to circle things, or if you I know it's like lots of layers of things to think about. So here's the bass, here's the tenor, alto, soprano, focusing on the tenor now, and a one. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. Repeat and hallelujah. 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 The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. That's a high tenor part for a man such as myself. Maybe the lady tenors would have an easier time with it. Here we go, alto. So here's bass, tenor, alto, soprano, focusing on the alto. And a one, two. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. Judy reminded me Wednesday that it's over. The storm is passing over. It's kind of an affected pronunciation. One more time, bass, tenor, alto, soprano, focusing on the alto. And a one, two. Okay, now the sopranos. Here's the bass again. So bass is coming in after the rest of us. Hale, ha, the basses come in 2 beats later. Here's bass, tenor, alto, soprano, focusing on soprano, and a one, two. Hallelujah, hallelujah, sorry. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. Repeat this. And hallelujah. 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 The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. The storm is passing over. Hallelujah. Let's try all together. Alan says,
Can I ask a quick question?
yes.
The oohs, are we going to be doing those? Because I'm not sure they did those on the tape for the third and fourth run.
You know what? That's a good question. I don't remember doing them on the tape either, but it looks like we're supposed to do them on the third and the fourth time. Has anybody rehearsed this with Jonathan? Is he doing the oohs?
You know, he's been gone for 3 weeks.
I'll ask him this week, Monday.
Yeah. Thinking back to all of us who did this way back when in 2020, I don't think we ever did the oohs. Do you remember anybody, Chris?
I remember we did when we were doing it with him the first time around.
First time around.
We did.
Let's for now, let's do it. It's indicated in the music to do it on the third and fourth time. Thanks for bringing that to my attention, Jane. I was so focused on other things. So the third and fourth time we'll do the oohs. So here we go. Here's a tenor, alto, soprano, and I'll do my best to grab the part. So first time loud, second time soft, third time loud but ooh, fourth time soft but ooh, and then I wonder, are we supposed to sing the words at "The storm is passing over"?
That's how we did it the last time. Oh,
So the oohs are just for the hallelujah part at the beginning.
yeah.
Here we go. And 3, 4, 1, 2. Hallelujah. Did you sing ooh that time? Did you remember? Good. So you're getting the hang of it. Good job. Let's move on, shall we? Happy together. Key change, top of 10. Altos and sopranos, please. D, 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 D. Measure 45, top of 10. 1, 2, ready, go. D, 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 D. D, 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 dot, 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 dot. Dot, you and me. Dot. 3, 4. How you doing on this part? You feel like you're kind of getting your notes? We've been over it a bunch, but I don't want to assume that everybody's getting your notes here. One more time, sopranos and altos, top of 10. A 1, 2, ready, go. Basses, let me hear you, please. And everybody else, feel free to sing along. Here's soprano, alto, tenor, bass. Focusing on the bass. 2, 3, 4. Dot, 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 so happy together. Basses, do you feel like you're getting it? Thumbs up. Okay, let's focus on the tenor. Here's the bass. Tenor, alto, soprano. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Me and you and me. No matter how they tossed the dice, it had to be the only one for me and you is you for me. So happy together. Da 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 da. So happy together. One more time, all the parts. See how you do. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano. A 1, 2, 3, 4. Me and you and me. No matter how they tossed the dice, it had to be the only one for me is you and you for me. So happy together. Da 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 da. So happy together. How you doing on this section? Feel like you're getting everything? Okay, now it's a little bit of a tricky thing to modulate into this from the previous. Let's go back to 37, bottom of 8, last measure, 37. That's this part that goes like this. So try this. Actually, let's try just the one measure before 45. Start right at 10. And see if we can get our note into 45. Here's the bass, tenor, alto, soprano. I'm at the first measure, top of 10. 2, 3, 4. So the basses have this. Ba, 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 da, da, da. Try that again, basses. Ba, 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 da, da, da. Tenors have this. Da, me and you. So, da, me Altos have da, 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 or deet, 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 deet. So altos again. Deet, 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 deet. Deet, 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 deet. After a while, it starts to sort of stick in our brains. Sopranos have deet, 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 deet. Deet, 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 deet. Let's try all the parts and see how you're doing. Let's just sing the first measure of 10, which is measure 44, and then stop on your first note of 45. Stop on your first note. See if you're kind of landing in the right place. Here's bass, tenor, alto, soprano. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did you get it? Anybody not get it? Here's the alto. Okay, one more time. Here's bass, tenor, alto, soprano. Just practice the transition. Land on the first note of 45 and hold it. 2, ready, go. Now, it's a little bit harder when we back up a few measures. So let's go back down to bottom of 8, measure 37. Let's try this whole section, and then let's stop on our first note of 45. 1, 2, ready, go. Ba, ba, ba. Okay, one more time. 37, this time we'll go on and see how we're doing on the key change. 1, 2, 37, go. How'd you do? You nailing it? Wow, good job. Well done. Let's go back now. Bottom of 7, this is where the sopranos have the melody. Let me hear sopranos there, please. 1, 2, sopranos, and me and you and me. No matter how they toss the dice, it had to be. The only one for me is you, and you for me. So happy together. Now we're at 37. Ba, 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 ba. And that part you know, right? Altos, let me hear you at 29. This is bottom of 7, measure 29, altos. Feel free to sing along, everybody. 1, 2, ready, go. Me and you and me. Had to be you for me, happy together. Ba, 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 ba. Got a frog in my throat. Me and you and me, that's 3 people, right? One more time, altos. 1, 2, ready, go. Me and you and me. Had to be you No, sorry. You probably sang it right, even though I played it wrong. So obviously, where there's two alto notes, I was singing the lower note. I had to pick one, so I chose the lower one. Tenors, let me hear you, please. Here's bass, tenor, alto, and soprano. This is bottom of 7, measure 29. A 1, 2, tenor. Me and you and me had to be. You for me. That's kind of a funny note. You for me. Happy together. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. Ba-ba-ba-ba. Me and you and me, no matter how they toss the dice. That's the tenors. Are you getting the transition, tenors? Okay, basses. Everybody sing along. Here's bass, tenor, alto, and soprano. Bottom of 7, measure 29, focusing on the bass. So 1, 2, ready, go. Dot, 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 dot. Happy together, ba 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 How'd you do, basses? Getting all those notes? You guys are amazing. Let's put that away. Zion's walls. Sopranos, first page. Here we go, sopranos. Oh, 1, 2, come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come, join us in singing the praises of Zion. 2, 3, oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, off. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout the walls of Zion, Zion. Right there, that what I played and sang was the second soprano part. I know a few of you are doing the high one. The walls of Zion, Zion. Is anybody doing that one? Okay, yeah, a couple of you are. Let's remember now that we're kind of, a certain way into learning it, let's remember, all of us, every single time now, bottom of 4, the last note.
Real quick, I thought only altos were doing the Zion. They changed it or something.
No, that second sopranos and I think first altos are doing that also, and then second altos have this part. The walls of Zion, Zion.
We were told all altos do that. Altos do that now. And the sopranos do something else.
Huh. I wasn't
The
told.
second stay on the C.
Yeah. The second stay on the C. The first go up. The low altos go. And
No,
then,
that's all altos are doing that.
okay.
You might want to check with John. I think he changed all the.
Okay. So we're not on the alto part now anyway, but all the altos are now doing this. And the seconds are doing. And the firsts are doing. Okay, so everybody, what I was going to say was everybody bottom of 4, last note, subito piano, where it says P sub. Let's remember to get quiet there. And then let's remember to gradually crescendo all the way to bottom of 5, measure 21. At the end there, it says forte. So that's part of what makes this song interesting is the crescendo. That exact same thing happens in another spot. It happens top of 10. It's the same notes and everything. Okay, top of 10 and also bottom of 4. Here we go, sopranos from the top again. Feel free to sing along on your own part. Oh, 1, 2, come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come, join us in singing the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout and go round, shout the walls of Zion, Zion. Off. So the way I count that, top of 6, 1, 2, 1, 2, off. So you kind of end up holding it for 4 beats. The walls of Zion, Zion, 1, 2, 1, 2, off. Altos, let me hear you, please. You come in one phrase after the sopranos. Come, sisters and brothers, a 1, 2. Come, sisters and brothers, come, join us in singing the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round, we'll shout and go round the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion, Zion. Off. Tenors, let me hear you. I'm sort of assuming that you guys are getting the parts by now, since we've kind of been over it a bit. I don't want to. If you're not, let me know. But I don't want to beat it too much if you're getting it. Tenors, last note, top of 3. 1, 2. Come, join us in singing the praises of Zion, the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion. Okay, basses, your turn. Let's start, well, let's work on the basses and then we'll go back. Here's the basses. 1, 2. Come, join us in singing the praises of Zion, the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion. That's a tricky part at 5 basses. Let's try that basis. Just the last note of 4 going into 5. 1, 2. We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion, the walls of Zion. So now let's try it with everybody. And just for, hopefully this is helpful, let's use the track. This is Zion's Walls, full mix, all parts. One, two.
Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come, join us in singing the praises of Zion, the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout. Sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. That's such a great chord. Let me hear, please, the basses, bottom of 6. How you doing on that part so far? You feel like you're getting it? The interludes are a little bit tricky because they go out of the key for a minute and then they come back into the key right before we sing, but sometimes it's hard to get our note. And the mixture of 6/8 and 9/8, sometimes it's a little bit hard to know what beat we're on, I think. Basses, let me hear you bottom of 6. So 1, 2, 1. Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion. One more time. Basses, 1, 2. Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion. Off. Okay? Everybody feel free to sing along. I'll focus on the tenors next. Everybody starts on a C. Tenors, 1, 2. Come, fathers and brothers, come, sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion. One more time, same thing. Tenors, 1, 2. Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion. Okay, altos. Whoever arranged this, I can't remember what the guy's name is, Glenn Copeland. He had strong belief in the range of the altos. The rest of us would be like, that's too high for altos. And he's like, nah, they can sing that. Here comes altos. A 1, 2. Come fathers and mothers, come sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion. You guys get the hot note in that chord. Love it. Same thing again, altos. A 1, 2. Come fathers and mothers, come sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion. And sopranos. Everybody starting on the same note. A 1, 2, a 1. Come, mothers and brothers, and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion. Okay, let's do all the parts together. Let me run this track back a little bit.
1, 2, 1.
Come, fathers and mothers, singing the praises.
2, 1.
Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1.
From the beginning that far, and then we'll jump over to Lux Eterna.
This is Zion's Walls, full mix, all parts. 1, 2.
Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come, join us in singing the praises of Zion, the praises of Zion. Oh, fathers, don't you feel determined to meet within the walls of Zion? We'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout, we'll shout the walls of Zion, Zion.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come join us in singing the praises of Zion.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1.
Come, fathers and mothers.
Yes, yes, yes. Are we getting there? You feel like you're kind of locking it in a little bit better each time? Let's move on.
Can I ask a question? What is a hot note?
Uh,
You mentioned-
it's sort of a jazz term. So like the chord is like a regular major chord, but then the altos have this extra note. It's like an added tone that makes the chord more interesting. Sometimes they call it a hot note. Okay. Lux Eterna.
And unmute yourself to ask your question.
Paul, from measures 27 on, do we have any set breathing, or is it just kind of stagger breathing?
Well, on the recording, they kind of took it every 2 bars. Come, fathers and mothers, come, sisters and brothers, come join us in singing. That measure has a breath in it. It feels like a logical place to breathe. It's come, fathers and mothers. Come.
Thank you.
It's basically every 2 measures.
Great, thank you.
Just makes it easier to sing, I think. Okay. Lux Eterna. I don't want to let any weeks go by without touching on this one because it's challenging. Altos, bottom of 8, please. Here we go, altos. Let's start with nam dona. I know it's in the middle of a word, but that's where it starts getting difficult for the altos. 1, 2, nam dona eis domine et lux perpetua luceat eis luceat requiem aeternam dona eis domine et lux perpetua luceat eis cum sanctis tuis in aeternum quia pius est. Hardest part for the altos. Let's do it again. Thank you for being patient. Other parts we will get to you ASAP.
Just a little bit slower, just a little bit slower, please.
You bet. Bottom of 8. 1, 2, nam dona eis domine et lux perpetua luceat eis luceat luceat requiem aeternam dona eis domine et lux perpetua luceat eis cum sanctis tuis in aeternum quia pius est. The whole notes last a long time at that tempo. Okay, basses, let's hear you, please. Let's go back 1 measure basis where you have aeternam dona e. I'm at bottom of 8. I'm starting on the last beat of measure 39 basses. 1, 2, 3. Aeternam dona eis domine et luceat eis luceat et luceat lux eterna luceat eis domine lux eterna dona eis requiem. One more time, same thing, basses. Bottom of 8. 1, 2, 3. Aeternam dona eis domine et is pretty easy for the basses. Tenors, let me hear you, please. Tenors, let's start the last measure, top of that page. Requiem, top of 8, last measure, tenors, 3, 4. Requiem aeternam, non nomine, et lux perpetua lucea Deis lux, luceat, luceat, sorry, at luceat, lux aeterna, lux aeterna, luceat eis nomine, lux aeterna, lux aeterna, dona eis, dona lux. One more time. Let me see if I can. How are you doing singing along on your own while I'm doing these other parts?
It'd be a lot easier, Paul, if you could give us our starting notes.
Okay. So let's everybody start last measure, top of 8. I'm focusing on the tenor, but see how you do. I'm trying to grab as many notes as I can. Here's the bass. Tenor, alto, soprano. 2, 3, 4. So what I can do is I'm sort of doing a summary of the piano accompaniment while trying to play single vocal parts at the same time. So let's try this. Let's start top of 8, last measure. This time I'll focus on the soprano. Here's the bass note, tenor, alto, soprano. Focusing on soprano. 2, ready, go. How did you do sopranos? You feel like you're getting it? I know it's a lot of long high notes for sopranos. Okay, this time focusing on alto. This is last measure, top of 8. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano. 2, 3, 4. altos, sort of, getting there. Now focusing on tenors, back at top of 8. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano. 2, 3, 4. Lastly but not leastly, basses. Top of 8, bass, tenor, alto, soprano. 2, 3, 4. How are you doing? It's a difficult piece. It's so beautiful though. It's one of those it's worthy of the struggle. I love the writing. It's tricky to rehearse it because the lines are so independent of each other, you know? So that's hard to play them, hard for people to sing it when they're all on their own. Let's go back one section. Let's go back a page to top of 7. Sopranos, let me hear you top of 7, please. Here's the tenors. If you want to sing along, you have. Focusing on the sopranos. 3, 4. Cum sanctis, cum sanctis, cum sanctis tuis in aeterno. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, Requiem aeternam dona eis. And then we're at the part that we've been rehearsing. One more time, sopranos, top of 7. 1. We'll get to everybody here. 2, 3, and cum sanctis, cum sanctis, cum sanctis tuis in aeterno. 1, 2, 3, 4. Requiem. And this is like a movie score. It's so epic. Tenors, let me hear you. Top of 7. Sopranos, feel free to sing along. And I'm trying to grab that alto entrance. When it gets there with my extra hand that comes out of my shirt, I just keep it inside. And then when I need it to play alto parts, it comes out. It's kind of weird. Here we go. Tenors, sopranos. 2, 3, 4. Cum sanctis, cum sanctis, cum sanctis tuis in aeternum, quia vius es, requiem aeternam. So the basses have to sit out that page, and then at the top of the next page, they hear this chord. So the altos have this line. Bass. Altos kind of hand you your note. You may be getting it another way, but the altos kind of hand you your note. Altos, let me hear you. Cum sanctis tuis. Love that line. 3, 4. It's such a good chord. Such a good chord. Hey folks, it's 11:30. Where did the time go? It either flew or dragged, depending on who you ask. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Thank you
Paul.
very much.
Love seeing your faces.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Another
Thank you,
great
Paul.
rehearsal.
Very good.
You.
Thank you.
Bye.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye, Paul.
Thanks, Dave.
On behalf of Linda, thank you.
Thanks.